Hi, and welcome to the Killian Family Homestead. Today we butcher a cockerel, which is a rooster that's younger than a year old. And after dispatching it and bleeding it out, we skinned the animal and took just the meat that we wanted, or just the meat that is viable off of one of these heritage breeds. This cockerel is actually a hybrid. We crossed a Cochin with a barred rock, and it produced some pretty good results. I'm intrigued by it, and I'd like you to see for yourself. Okay, the very first thing you do, of course, is you dispatch the bird. Then I take the head off and I let it bleed out down into a bucket or onto the ground, whatever you prefer is most sanitary for you. Sometimes I like to give it just a squeeze to ensure that the blood is completely drained out. Okay, and then I tie it up by the ankles up above, and so that you can just do a skinning of this animal like you would do any other animal. I can't do it with, I can't skin and film at the same time, so we're just going to show you piece by piece how to do this. The very first thing we'll do is we'll cut around the ends there and just skin it like a normal animal. Cut around here, cut around there, take it down, sorry it's twisting on me here, cut it down here, and then just pull the skin all the way off this bird. And then I'll go to there and then explain the next few steps. Okay, this is a good stopping point just to catch you up on what I've done here. So, a ring around each leg, pull the hair down, cut down at about this angle, here, cut down a little bit all the way through here. And then the great thing about a chicken skin is that once you get your preliminary cuts done, you can use brute force and just pull that skin off. And you're going to have some things here or there. But the beauty of doing it this way is that it doesn't leave the skin behind, obviously, that have all of those little bumps on them where each bump represents where a feather used to be. And then sometimes when you are scalding and pulling the feathers off, it leaves little bumps there that are unpalatable in my opinion, and you have to burn them off and what have you. This method might be a little bit more brute force up front, but at the end of the day, it's my preferred method. Okay, so we took let's see here, a 9-month-old cockerel, which is a rooster that is younger than a year old, and it was a hybrid between a Cochin and a barred rock rooster, and I've butchered a ton of chickens by dispatching them and then putting them into scalding water that is 130 degrees or so for 30 seconds or so, maybe even 50 seconds. You pull it out, then you can pull all the feathers off. It leaves little nubs sometimes in the skin, and that's less than ideal. So what I did with this one is I skinned it back like I showed you, but then I just carved the meat away that actually was present. And you can see from that one chicken, here is the meat that we have. 2 solid drumsticks, 2 breasts, 2 back straps or the dark meat here, and then just a bunch of scraps that can be fed to after mincing them, or I guess you could feed it directly to your pet animals that way, or you could, if you're butchering a bunch of chickens, you could do that and mince that into chicken burger meat. Anyways, so here we go. That's what we got from one chicken. The purpose of this video is to show that you can raise your own backyard chickens. Now, roosters, of course, make noise. You have to consult with your neighbors to see if they're okay with that. We have some great neighbors that are willing to put up with the noise until they're old enough to butcher. And this is an impressive amount of meat from one bird, in my opinion. Especially a bird that is not the traditional cross breeds, the major commercial breeds that they use for chicken production, meat production. The Cornish game hen or the Cornish cross are the two that come to mind that they use for commercial production. This is a couple of heritage breeds that have been crossed, and in my opinion they produce very healthy looking and very great tasting meat. It just not in 12 to 14 weeks, it rather takes a little longer, but all things good take a little while in my opinion. So there you go. That's the end product of the butchering process that we did.